in reality, it's not an estimate, it's at least $1.4 billion.
That's how much money Georgia Department of Revenue Commissioner Bart Graham says is missing in delinquent tax money. Graham says over the past few years, collections had actually gotten better, and they'd reduced the total to about $900 million. But
as the economy declined, we've seen that number grow back up into the $1.4 billion range, 200 million of which has become past due just in the last 6 to 8 months.
in an aggressive effort to collect some of those funds, Georgia is one of a handful of states that publishes a list of delinquent taxpayers online. It's for businesses and individuals that have reached the lien or garnishment stage. The program started in 2004. The state will also refuse to renew auto dealer and liquor licenses for businesses who don't pay up.
When they refuse to show up for appointments or to meet the terms of negotiations, then sometimes they need an extra push, and some of these tools that we use are the extra push.
Alabama officials are also taking a unique approach to collect tax money owed to the state. It's not nearly as much.
I honestly believe that we're talking about several hundreds of millions of dollars for the state of Alabama.
But Alabama Revenue Commissioner Tim Russell admits they need it. That's why they've launched Operation Clean Slate, an amnesty program that allows taxpayers who are behind to avoid penalties if they pay.
It's an effort to try to give citizens and corporate activities and business activities in Alabama a chance to come clean.
The program ends May 15th, and it's not for folks who are already in the lien stage, but Russell says what comes after that will be even more effective. The state has invested millions of dollars into a new computer system that will make it easier to track down tax dodgers.
With our technology and our auditabilities are going to be much more effective in searching that down in the future, and the penalties are going to be quite severe.
This issue of delinquent tax filers has become even more important as each state looks for ways to fund dwindling budgets. Both commissioners say most of the missing money comes from what's not turned over in sales and income tax.
I go out, I buy a product at a business, I pay sales tax on it. The person who owns that business obviously generates an income over the year. So I'm doing my part, I'm paying my fair share when I go into that business. When it comes to local tax, state tax, they're just not giving it back?
Well, it's possible that some businesses are not forwarding those trust fund accounts to the state of Alabama. You're exactly right.
From the second that a retailer or a company collects it on behalf of its employers, it's state property. So if they turn around and use it to their own benefit or their own consumption, technically they've broken the law.
Despite the dire need for money, Graham says the economy hasn't changed his department's approach.
Everybody wants the net result. They want the collection so that we can fund all the programs and priorities that the governor or legislature want to fund. But when it comes to their constituent or their hometown business, it's all about what good people they are. Well, they're not always good people, even though people in the community think they're good people, and we generally know the rest of the story.
The Consumer Watch team wanted to know the rest of the story, so with a bit more digging, we discover in Muskogee County alone, there's more than $14 million missing in delinquent tax money. Names and places you know and go each day, from banks to barbecue joints.
Nettle from Channel 9. Is the owner or manager here?
We first looked at businesses that were listed on the DOR's website as owing more than $100,000. Most of them were already shut down. So we checked out businesses who were listed as owing more than $50,000. We pulled up a lien for this Regions Bank listing. It's for more than $80,000. The location has an address of Hamilton Road, but that doesn't exist. So we contacted a spokesperson. The company provided this statement. Regions is committed to fulfilling all of its tax obligations in a timely manner, and we were not aware of this 10-year-old claim. We have contacted the Georgia Department of Revenue, and we look forward to resolving the matter in the near future.
I'm Nettle from Channel 9. Is the owner or a manager here?
No, ma'am, he's not.
I'm Nettle from Channel 9, looking for a manager or owner.
At many of the locations, an owner wasn't present to explain why the business's name showed up on the Department of Revenue's list, and at others.
There's a list of delinquent taxpayers on the State Department of Revenue's website for the state of Georgia. The company's name was on there, and we wanted to get a response.
No, my name's Emil.
No comment?
At both of these businesses, people who identify themselves as owners say they're paying the state back. But that's what won't show up on public record. Department of Revenue officials tell us once a lien is recorded, the amount listed online or with county records won't change, nor will they remove a name until the lien is paid in full. Plus, there are other discrepancies we discovered, like this lien listed on IHOP on Airport Thruway. We visit the store.
Are you the manager or
I have no idea why that would be. So let me find out right now because I'm going to call the county.
But after speaking with the company's attorney, he says the amount, which doesn't belong to the current owner, although we found it listed that way, has been in dispute with the Department of Revenue for more than 10 years, and they haven't been able to reach a resolution. The Department of Revenue wouldn't comment on that particular case. Plus, there are other situations where a business may have changed ownership, but it's unclear who the lien belongs to. According to the Department of Revenue, it should be handled before the sale, but it seems that's not always the case. No matter who it is, though, every dollar counts.
It's as simple as, sometimes we're questioning, well, why did I get a tax notice to pay this $20 on this issue? Wasn't that a waste of your time? Well, if you take 4.5 million taxpayers times $20, pretty soon you're defunding a lot of state departments.
As for those 22 politicians who are delinquent, the Department of Revenue is keeping that private. The legislation that was passed, though, requires the names to be turned over to the Ethics Committee in the House and the Senate for legislators who, once notified, don't comply in a timely manner. We talked to most of our local legislators and asked if they were current on state, federal, and property taxes, and each of the ones we spoke with said yes, and we didn't find any liens on public record to the contrary. To see the list for yourself, visit the Consumer Watch page of our website for a link. Zanetta Lowe, WTVM News Leader 9.